computer. Okay, welcome everyone to the BIB Club. Tonight we're working on the never-ending prospect list. And before we get started, what stood out for somebody in this lesson?
Well,
anything stand out for you as you were reading through the booklet or through the books?
yeah, that we should put aside more minutes than we usually do a day and get calls in and messages in and do what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that that we should be doing all the time, right? Just kind of a little reminder.
Yeah, it reminded me.
Okay, let's turn to 25 in the Build It Big book. The Build It Big book, page 25.
25.
And that section was on work now, play later.
Right.
And so page 25 in Build It Big. And it starts with, I'll just read just something that I underlined here. Remember this motto: pay the price up front so you can play in the end. So that's a good thing to remember, that we're gonna work. I always say with my other Avon friends, whenever we get together. Jody, page 25.
We're in the regular book.
The regular Build It Big book. That's where I'm in.
Page 25.
I see pay for the price up front so you can play in the end. Is that what you said?
That's what I said, hon.
That's exactly what she said.
Okay.
Let me underline it.
All right. Now,
I went
and
to
this is something, Jody, that you should have read before class, right? You read this section?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Then, okay, now listen, it says, I earn a six-figure income that works around my grandchildren and family life from holding fast to this approach. Of course, I have worked with others who want to play early and pay later, but they are still waiting to make money. Which would you choose? Okay.
Work around my grandchildren and family life.
Okay, so then it talks about you making the list of names, which is in the workbook. So we'll go now to page 91
in the same book.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, I read the wrong stuff.
Always go by what it says in the workbook on what you read. It gives you the actual pages and which book right there in the workbook of the never-ending prospect list.
I actually like this one.
You like this lesson? Okay. What stood out in it for you, Roger?
The deal of walking across that stage and having the rest of your team and other people cheering you on for your success.
Yes.
I envision myself walking across a convention stage one day. Just don't know when.
Yeah, well, maybe next year, huh?
I'm hoping so.
Well, everybody got to see the little bit of how exciting convention is. But imagine if you're all in one room and they're going through that general session. How exciting and how powerful that is.
And it would be great if we could hear it.
The energy when you're actually at a convention, with every Avon rep in the United States, the energy level is higher than you ever thought it would ever be.
It is.
I wonder where it's
and Dawn can attest to this. When you're at convention, instead of just watching a virtual, don't plan on getting much sleep because you're going to have too much energy to go to sleep.
I'm going to rewatch the video with that lady, the big one we had, the big lady. She did the most talking.
The lady that was the keynote speaker, Jody?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
What
you
was her name?
watch that until September 30th, Jody.
Sally Hogshead.
Well, I'm gonna rewatch it because I'm gonna have to rewatch it all, and that's what I'm gonna start doing tonight because I didn't get to hear much of it.
Okay, well, you need to rewatch
Don't look
it
at me
then.
like that.
Before they
Not you,
take
Dawn.
it off, Jody, you need to rewatch it before they take it off, and they're taking it off in just a week.
Yep.
They're taking
Okay.
it off September 30th.
How do you get to it?
Avon Visionaries, just like you did when
Same
you
way
first
you got
joined.
to it before. Mhm.
Okay.
All right, let's get back to what we're working
Okay.
on, the BIB. Okay,
All right.
page 91.
Right.
Under build your business by the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about, you simply must learn to build your business strategically.
Strategically.
Thank you.
That's just like me with it. Oh my God.
Rather than by accident. Strategically rather than by accident. Don't just let it happen. Don't just let it happen that somebody calls you and wants to join your team.
Yeah.
You need to strategically work on it so that it's not a big surprise when you do get that excitement. Then I'm just gonna skip.
Yeah, I wasn't working that hard to get my 2 I got. I mean, well, I was working hard. I was working them.
But,
And I finally got both of them to sign up under me, but we'll just see where it goes.
Well,
like
Jen, that working hard is only just beginning.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you've
I
got
know.
to work with them, Jen. You've got to work with them
Oh, I've been.
and give them the ideas that they need, because you got to remember what it felt like when you started
Oh, yeah.
and how much Roger worked with you.
Mhm.
Oh man, Jen and I, man, I can't even count how many times my phone rang. Help!
It's mostly
So
me.
you got to think about them and be checking back with them, you know, every couple
Oh,
days.
yeah. Every day. I just talked to River. She put an order in. Tomorrow's side, she's order going in. The
Your-
other girl, she
And your speaker,
kind of
went.
giving,
Speaker
like,
just
she
cutting
don't
out.
have money. Huh?
your speaker is cutting out or blurring out, where it's really
We
hard.
barely understood what you said.
You did, maybe you got too close
Oh.
or something. You know, maybe that was it, because it was working okay at the beginning, and then when you started talking, it went kind of crazy. But
Okay.
Jen, the key thing, as I'm sure Roger has told you, that you help them build that $200 order so you get your $20 bonus. And remember from our meeting, if they get that $200 order in campaign 21, you're going to get an extra $20. Okay. So
And Dawn, Jen and I just had that talk this morning.
did you? Okay. Well,
Yeah,
just reminding you.
We
but
already
that's-
had that talk this morning. That talk started out wondering if we had any bundles so she could hurry up and hit premiere. Then it turned to me talking about her new girls and that the $40 bonus is on the table for her, but it's only going to be there till the end of 21.
Yeah. So
right.
that's a key thing. Who knows if they're going to extend it, but right now it's the end of 21. So
I actually would like to see them extend it, but anyway.
okay, so then
I would too.
the next paragraph on page 91, getting back to the BIB club, keep your focus on the numbers and the results will take care of themselves.
Yes, I had that underlined. Well, I will
Okay.
right now.
That's good. Now turn to page 92. And there's going to be something that I'm going to have others read, but right now I've just got little bits of the sentence circled. On working the numbers, under that paragraph, it says, if you look at the industry average we discover that for every 10 people we talk to about our business opportunity, we can expect to sponsor one new person onto our team. The same 10-to-1 ratio holds true for bookings as well. So that's if you're, doing shows and things, okay? But, it may be a little bit different, and it may be you got to talk to 20. Maybe you got to talk to 30 before you get to one. But what it's talking about is a consistency of talking to someone every day about the business, and you're offering them the gift. Because let's say, and I brought this scenario up before, so I'll bring it up again. Let's say that you went out to eat, and that waitress or that server did not offer you dessert, but you were thinking about getting dessert because you were going to treat yourself that night. Same thing. Those servers always offer, you ready? What kind of dessert would you like now? The same way, and I always say no. Very seldom do I get dessert. So you may get a lot of no's when you offer the gift of the opportunity. But if you don't offer, you never know. They could be waiting for you to offer because they noticed your pin and they didn't want to say anything. Or they noticed, your shirt or something like that. So just remember, that's important. So now we're going to go on to page 93. It says at the top of the page, just imagine the possibilities of presenting your opportunity to 520 people simply by holding, now this talks about a show, but just by simply holding one show per week for an entire year.
Like a vendor show?
Well, no, Jody, it's really talking about the people that like Tupperware and those other direct sales that have like home parties, home shows like that.
Yeah, I was kind of confused on that because we don't do parties.
You can just relate it to us too, in that, with talking to people and getting in front of people. So with 1 out of 10 closing ratio, that would result in approximately 50 new team members in a year.
Now I have a question. Let's say you want to take all your Avon stuff over to a friend's house because she has friends coming over. Would that be kind of like a show?
That would be like a pop-up, yeah, show, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
As long as your friend says it's all right for you to bring all your Avon over.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be presumptuous in that respect.
Yeah,
no, I will have
to ask permission. You always got to ask permission. But what would your bonus check look like if you added 52 people to your team in a year?
A lot bigger than what mine is right now.
Yeah.
Well, you should know that, Dawn. You got a big team.
Well, I'm just bringing up the same thing out of the book.
I know.
How many people do you have under you, Dawn?
We have close to 300 now.
Wow.
Yeah. So the paragraph underneath the bullets, the bullets are review your strategy, but the paragraph, Roger, you want to read that paragraph that starts with what's wonderful?
Wow, I'm not volunteering this time. I'm being asked. Anyway, what's wonderful about building your business by the numbers is that it is simple, repeatable. It keeps you focused on your efforts rather than on the results. As you become more skilled at sharing the opportunity, your closing ratio will improve and your team will grow even faster.
Right. So focus on filling, your day with opportunities to give the gift. And, review what your strategies are. That pretty much, I pulled just the tips out of that chapter. Now we'll go to more Build It Big. And there was 2 sections in there that we were supposed to read. The first one is on page 76 in the More Build It Big. More Build It Big now,
Yep.
76.
I did the wrong exercises.
That's all right. You can catch back up on them, Jody. No biggie.
Okay. All right. So page 76 in More Build It Big. It talks about fall in love with the out and about prospecting. Okay. Now, I starred some things in here. Was there anything in this part of the book that stood out with people?
With me, what stood out with me, and I always tell this to my team, and they can't say that I never have because it's 2 words, 3 words: share it and wear it, or wear it and share it, however you want to do it.
Mhm.
You know, because when people don't realize everything Avon has since we became part of LG. So they're
No, I
seeing a
just got
lot
that.
of new stuff.
I got that cowl sweater. Has like a turtleneck. It's pretty. And put it on tomorrow and post it.
Okay, so it is wearing what you sell and sharing the opportunity. So in the first paragraph, the last sentence that's italicized, it says, I invite you to invest in others and reap the reward of customers and prospects that are waiting for you.
I have it underlined.
Okay. The next page, on page 77, it talks about wearing a conversation starter. We've talked about that. I mean, the day I told you, I posted in Dawn's Dreamers, the day I wore my shirt that said Avon, 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 I was not thinking Avon at all. Walked into the bathroom at the grocery store.
I read that.
Hobbling with my boot on, thinking, okay, I got to get to the handicapped stall so I have enough room. And this person was standing at the sink, and she said, Avon, oh, I haven't been able to get my Avon in for like ever. I always keep business cards in my phone pocket right there. So she said, do you have a book or a card on you? I said, of course I do. I pulled out a card. I explained the front and back to her. And, you know, she did call me the next day, even before I could get back to her. She called me and placed an order, and there's a new customer just from wearing an Avon shirt.
See, that's a whole important thing about branding yourself, because you never know where that next customer is going to come from.
You don't. Or recruit, right? Or team member.
Right.
So here, the next paragraph, it says, make prospecting a lifestyle, not an event. So don't only do it when you have a show or an event. Lay aside the notion that prospecting happens at special places and time. Allow yourself to see opportunity in your everyday life. Chores and appointments become more exciting when you realize that you truly can build your business anywhere. During one recent doctor visit, I sampled and sold to nurses and gained a new business partner. And I know Roger has done that at doctor's offices as well. So same way, I know, Jen, when you were in Chicago with your mom, you know, you did that too. Every time you went out, you know, it was always talking Avon. So, oops. Okay, I think we're still having problems with the microphone, Jen, because I heard just clatter. I didn't hear your voice. Living prospecting lifestyle. We're still
We can't
not.
understand you, Jen.
We can't understand you. Maybe you'll have to write something on a piece of paper and hold it up to the screen. Let me just continue with the second paragraph. Living the prospecting lifestyle demands preparation. Keep business cards, a method to collect information, product samples or pamphlets, and the details of your next presentation always at hand. Have a calendar to schedule that time with them. Okay, what do you, hold it closer, Jen. I can't hear what
What are you holding up now, Jen?
Get it
It
over,
says,
get it
keep
over a little.
breaking up.
It's what?
She says she keeps on breaking up.
Yeah, you do. We can't hear
Are
you.
you on your
God.
computer or your tablet, Jen?
Okay, we'll just carry on and
Okay.
she can join. The next paragraph talks about KISS. We know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Keep it short and sweet. Yep. Approach is number 1. You can read all that yourself. Number 2, connect. Take less than 30 seconds. I mean, I was not going to keep her in the bathroom. She was, probably wanted to go finish her shopping or go home, or, I mean, she didn't have any groceries with her in the bathroom, but she was probably just stopping there before. Number 3 on page 78 is share. Don't overwhelm your prospect with information. Remember, you are the information gathering mode. Okay? So collect. Assume that she's going to give you her information. So you just go ahead and say, here, jot this down here in my notebook, and I will get back to you. And at the same time that she's doing that, you can say, I look forward to sharing more with you, and then set up the time that you're going to get back to her. Okay? So that should occur in 24 hours or less. So now, just the end of that talks about the action for out and about prospecting is paint your successful picture. Make it happen. Wear a conversation starter. Prospect every day, all the time. Approach, connect, share, and collect. And relax and have fun doing it, because it's exciting when you show your excitement. They can feel that. They then want to be a part of that excitement. If you go, well, do you want to get, have you ever heard of Avon? No. Oh, well, you should. Is there any excitement in my
Yeah, I'm
voice?
going to walk away from you if you keep talking like that, Dawn.
I know, exactly. But we don't think about it, but sometimes we come across that way. We come out that way without realizing that we're not showing our excitement about our business.
I don't know how this happened, but my cross that I'm wearing that I got from Avon last year seems to be a conversation starter at times, and it totally catches me off guard when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like, ooh, I love that cross, or did you have a different cross on the other day? I'd be like, well, yeah. I get them at Avon because I get them. You see, I just immediately turned that into an Avon. I actually even had someone order one of them because of that.
And even Roger, if you don't say, well, I got it from my business, and then let them come and ask more about
Ain't gonna work for me. I've been in Avon too long now. Avon, I don't say my business. I say Avon. I've been at it for too long now. It just turns into habit.
You want them to come back and say, what is your business? And that, will lead into them asking you the questions instead of us coming out to them and giving them all the information right away.
Well, usually after that, they're asking for a business card or a brochure. So,
Right.
yeah, it's more about when you see someone, to the one that says in the book here, it's more about when you see someone that you haven't talked to and like standing behind them in a grocery store, you want to kind of look at them, see what kind of mood they're in and such, and then just find a common ground.
Right, right. Talk about a necklace they're wearing, or, the magazine they're looking at, or something that you can build it into an Avon conversation. So it's just like, do you always come this time of day to the grocery store? You find that the wait is this long, that kind of thing. So you're not even bringing Avon up in the conversation in the beginning until, and then, well, do you work then that you're coming at this time of day? And then they say, yes, they're work. Well, where do you work at? Well, I could come anytime. That's why I was wondering when, if it's busy always this time of day, because I have my own business. Well, then they're going to say, well, what business? And how it just leads into, you just lead the conversation into Avon. So let's move on to the next More Build It Big on page 156. And that is use strategy to speed success.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you said what page was that again, Dawn? 156?
156.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My bookmarks fell out because I had to chase one of my dogs.
I know. See, I keep putting my Post-it notes in here so I know what section.
I need to be using them instead of bookmarks.
Yeah. Then you can move them each week. So anyway, going back to finishing the puzzle or your speed to success, and it kind of talks about what we've already talked about, establishing your goal. What is your financial goal that motivates you? That's on the top of page 157. Generate, figure out what kind of money is it, if it's money that you're looking for right now. Some people, start Avon just because they want to get out of the house and their husband makes enough money. They don't need to sell Avon. They just want to do it to be someone individually. So meet your objective of what your goal is. So everybody's goal is different. So you always got to go back to that person and figure out what their goal is, because then that's what's going to help you follow with the plan, which is the next, section. Reads about, what your new team members need. What is their drawing card? How can they outline this need with a schedule? How is a schedule going to work for them? And then scheduling your time so that you spend 90% of each workday on presenting your products and your business. Now, not everybody can do that. If you're working full-time and doing Avon, so that would be a different situation. So then you find out what they plan, how much time do they plan on putting into Avon, and then what was their goal? How much did they want to earn? Well, if they plan on putting a half an hour, couple days a week into Avon, you've got to point out to them that they're not going to reach that large goal of only considering that amount of time. So then on to, let's see, page 158. The first paragraph I've got highlighted, the most critical aspect of your business strategy is your commitment to putting your plan into action.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's something that we've talked about a lot before. So this is kind of more of a review for those of us that have talked about this, putting this plan into action. So then today's steps for speeding your success is set a long-term financial goal for your business, number 1. Number 2, set an income target for each month of the coming year. Well, we've got a few months left in to 2020. So what is your target? How much do you need to put in your pocket? Schedule 3 blocks of time within the next 30 days to design your business plan. Okay? So that is, it's something that you really have to dig down deep to find out what it is that you want out of Avon. And if what you want out of Avon, then how are you going to get there? That's what it boils down to. Okay, that is all of our reading material. Now let's go to page 39 in the book, in the workbook. So now we're on the middle of page 39 underneath the readings and your prospect list. First, it keeps your opportunity to serve in the forefront of your mind. Second, your list allows you to focus and leverage the time you dedicate into building your business. And it can be any amount because everybody's different. Third, your list should constantly be expanding with the fresh leads and the business opportunities. And that can come from, like what we have all done, is shows and events and that type of thing. So that's why it's so important that you, and I'll just show you one of them, just make sure you have these little cards or a booklet at every event you do, so you can take down names and numbers of the people that you talk to, because that's your follow-up and that's your expansion of your list. Okay, let's turn to the next page, page 40. So, those of you that did this lesson, right? How many got 100 names and phone numbers in their list?
Not yet. Getting there.
Okay.
Not yet, because I did the exercise.
How many did you get, Jen?
Oh,
You want to put your number? 5, 6,
60.
60? All right. 60 out of 100.
Good
Okay.
job, Roger.
What's that?
Good job.
That was Jen, not
That was
me.
Jen.
Oh, Jen's got 60? Wow.
You goof.
What? I only have 1 year.
How many did you get, Roger?
I have 39 right now.
39 right now. Okay.
Yep.
Remember
And
that.
some of those I'm marking as follow-ups. Remember how I was talking to you earlier, telling you I'm gonna be doing some follow-ups.
Right. Well, they can be because, you know, you recently had a show last weekend in your park. And so you got new names to add to that list.
Exactly.
So, you know, I would take a whole booklet, you know, one of those steno booklets, and just keep a list going in a paper booklet that you can just keep checking back with. That is the best way to keep a list going all the time. So when you're making that list, a key thing to remember is what your inner voice is saying. When anybody was making that list, did an inner voice come out to them?
Yeah, I actually had it on a couple of them when I put their name. I'm like, they ain't gonna buy. They just said that to get, so I quit talking to them. But then I told that inner voice, shut up, we're gonna do it anyway.
That's it. That's exactly right. That's exact. You know,
Here.
right. Or don't listen to that inner voice. We've talked about this before, because that inner voice is telling you things like it says in the book. I don't know anyone. Everyone I know is either broke or unmotivated. Yep. I can't call them. They're already successful. How could I expect to offer them something? Yeah, you can't prejudge. You cannot prejudge. You've got to write down the names and use that who do you know list, you know, that we've all probably was given when we started. And it's also in Dawn Streamer's files if you don't have it. Because think about, you know, the lawyers, the restaurant people, I mean, that list is like, I don't know how many is on that list, but there's a lot. So now
Oh,
let's
you mean the memory jogger? That thing's got so many different professions on it.
exactly, that's what I was talking about. I wasn't calling.
Jen and Jody, you guys got that memory jogger when you first joined up.
Yes, I actually I got that on my computer and printed it back out so I could redo it.
Yes, that's a
There you
good
go.
thing. That's where you're going to get your 100 names from, Jody. Go through that thing and write down a name behind every one of those professions.
I
And
can
you'll
do that.
come. So now let's go over to page 46 in the workbook.
Page 46.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It starts with, what internal messages do you hear when you sit down to add names to your prospect list? Well, we kind of just talked about that. So those questions are important for you to write down things on in trying to build that list. It also talks about convert your inner critic. Use the categories below, and this is similar to what we were just talking about, the list of family, friends, you know, then go over to page 47. It continues neighbors, professionals, employees, religious
Dawn?
organizations.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Melina is in chat. She said, hi, I have a suggestion. I got some contact info from TikTok. Maybe it would help for everyone to get an account and start getting customers there too. Well, Melina, I can tell you one thing about that. I just seen TikTok is getting banned. If you want an account with TikTok, you better download and set it up fast, because pretty soon it's not going to be able to be downloaded in the United States. People who already have it can still use it, but those, if you want to do it after a certain date, it ain't happening.
Yeah, they're trying to do that, but they also tried to get owners in the US on TikTok. I saw that in the news this weekend too. So, I don't know. TikTok has changed a lot in what I'm seeing there. And I like to watch it just primarily to see who's going to do dancing to music and whatever, and it's kind of just entertaining. But everybody's social is different. Everybody's social media is different. Some people like LinkedIn. Some people like, Pinterest. Some people like Instagram. Some people like Facebook. There's all kinds out there.
Okay, well, Melina said that she was getting customers from TikTok, so.
Well, and
Dawn, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on the chat for you there, so.
I thought TikTok was getting axed by everybody, not just China.
There's multiple countries already banned TikTok, because they've said that China's been using TikTok to gather people's personal information from all over the country.
Yeah. So, well, and everybody's different.
I keep on getting strange eyes at me and Dave.
I'm sorry, Jen, we couldn't understand.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I don't know if it's that your internet. We didn't hear a word you said.
Jen, why don't you message Roger when you want to say something?
Yeah, why don't you pop up a messenger for me on Facebook?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll read it for you, because it must be your internet not being nice to you.
Okay, so now on page 48, I want to know who took the pledge. I pledged to complete my list, so I have everything I need to make my calls. I will spend 30 minutes a day gathering contact information for my list, and I will continue to gather contact information for everyone until my list is complete. Yes, yes. Everybody?
Yeah,
So Jody, you're gonna work on that, right?
Yes.
Page 48, you're gonna work on that pledge.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now down a little bit below, the goals for my list, the number of new people I add to my prospect list each week is how many? And the number of people I commit to meeting each day, either by phone or in person, online or by email to reach my goal is how many? So it's just your goal you're going to write down for yourself to commit to, right? You know, it's not something you have to tell anyone else unless you need to. If you need to, you know, like
You
your
don't need
leader
to
is,
know that, Dawn.
don't need to know that. Now, page 49. It's got some more pledges there. So I want you to, if you haven't already, which if you've done this section, you probably have this all filled out already. So, you know, your action to achieve your goals, and then you're ready, the list ready for action. And then, of course, congratulations for completing the exercise in this lesson, the date completed, your sign, and how you're going to celebrate when you get that 100 people written down.
A lazy bath.
A lazy bath,
A
okay.
lazy-
Candles
that's
to smooth my mind out from just draining it. I did a drain releaser.
Drain releaser. That was the
a
last step.
drain releaser. That sounds like you got clogged drain.
Well, I'm not
I don't
saying
believe I
it
just
right.
said that.
I can't think of the word that I'm trying to say. So
Okay. Who else? Who else? What are you going to celebrate? You can put it in the chat if you want to, Melina. We'll watch for it.
Me, I'm gonna take the boys for a walk again. Of course, I do that all the time, but you know, for me, that's celebrating when I get to have time with my boys.
When you make time for your dogs and that they love it and you love it and it's a good getaway. It's a good.
If you saw the look I'm getting right now, Achilles is sitting on the couch looking at me like, "Are you talking about me?"
Yeah, you got to start spelling that word, WALK.
Yeah. He's getting to know how to spell too, because I spell it and he still knows what I'm saying.
You can tell by your voice. Okay, so moving forward on the bottom of page 49, success in direct selling comes from consistent and persistent action. Connect with new people daily and invite them to benefit from your product, your service, and your business. So this was a good lesson. I like the lesson too, Roger.
I really like this one.
Yeah, it was a good open up your mind and think kind of thing. Okay, what do you got to, did you text something? Did you message Roger something, Jen? Roger will.
Now.
Let me see here. There's something written in the chat here. It says, Melina says that she's going to take her son somewhere special.
Okay, that's good. I'm going to treat myself to ice on my foot.
Well, that's not really a treat. That's recuperating, Dawn. There's a difference.
I know. Everybody pray for me. I'm going to the doctor this week and I want that bone to have started to heal so no surgery is required. So
I hope you don't have to have surgery. That would really suck.
yes, it would, because that would mean another 30 to 60 days in my boot, and no, I don't want.
And you being a slave driver to Darwin.
No, I make him get my eyes, so I sit in the recliner.
Slave driver.
Okay, so now when we look at the next page 50, it talks about booking your way into business, which is, we can relate it into Avon as well, of course. So think about that as you're reading through, but think, since it is kind of that categorizing way, I would recommend that we do book your way into business, page 50 through page 56, and make it fun for higher profits, page 57 through 60. So it would still be only 10 pages in the workbook. It would be a little bit more reading, but it's totally up to you on what you guys want to do. Continue with one, or do you think you can handle two in the next session?
Just a minute. Jen says that everyone is cutting out. And I said, I'm getting ready to tell her, I said, sounds like the internet is being wonky.
Yeah, it's not cutting out for anyone else, so.
But are you kidding? I already had my trouble with the internet company for mine not to be doing that anymore.
So what is your thoughts on taking page 50 to page 60 for the next session? Can you do it, or you want to stick to one? We can stick to one. It's totally up to you guys, and then I'll just post whatever you four decide.
Why don't we just keep doing? Why don't we just do the two? That's only 10 pages.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not printing pages anymore. I'm writing answers and scrolling along using my PDF.
Yeah.
I got a hell of a, pardon my language, I got a heck of a bill from my Insta Ink because of all of the printing I've been doing lately.
Right.
That wasn't pretty.
So yeah, so I mean, you can still look up the pages to read.
Yep.
And then
I look up the pages to read. I write my stuff
get
on
it
paper.
off your computer screen and then just write down what you need to write down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Okay.
what I've been doing.
So we'll do that, page 50 to page 60 and we're doing it again next week, right?
Right.
Next week would be the 28th. Okay.
Wow.
Where is this month going? Well, actually, better yet, where's
It's going
the
by
year going?
fast.
Like I said, there's only a week left to catch any more visionaries that you want to still review, because Michael said today on the Community Insider, did you see he read mine where I was going to be for him to bring me a drink on the Destination Avon? I said I'm going to be in my cabana, and he goes, okay, Dawn, I'll bring you a drink over there. And then Darwin said, and bring two, because I'll be over there too. So.
Well, I'm sure Michael's already thinking that Darwin can get his own.
Yeah, probably. But you know what? When you're in a cabana, you don't have to get any drinks anyway. The cabana boy brings them.
Okay, quit going with that cabana boy, Dawn.
And if you want food, he'll bring you that too. So yeah, it's a pretty lazy vacation. But anyway, back to Build It Big. Any more comments about our lesson tonight?
Well, this lesson, I didn't get to read it word for word like I should have, because as soon as I saw the titles and skimming through it, I'm like, I mean, there's some things I caught that I'm going to work on, but most of it I already do.
Yeah, well, that's right. It's just kind of a refresher course, right?
Yeah, it makes you think. Tonight's lesson makes you think about what you're doing versus what you could add to.
What you could be doing. That's right.
Exactly.
I mean, it did for me too. I was like, okay, well, okay, I'm going to use my Buddha.
Yeah, see, you know what I'm talking about.
I know. Well, that's right. Well, we all are in the same boat here. So, I'm not in it to pick on anyone here. It's just to lead you all in whatever ways you want to build it big, to build your business bigger. So, and I'm also still waiting for some more pictures of your focus and your dreams and goals. I will
have that done tomorrow.
Yes, send this.
Okay, I'm gonna say this again so Jen can hear me. She messaged me. She's like, I gave her the pages. Jen, the pages that Dawn gave us are for the workbook. It'll tell you you're reading, what you need to read in all those pages.
Here, Jen. This is what we're gonna this page, and right here it tells you what pages to read in the Build It Big and the More Build It Big. So that's page 50.
Yeah.
Page 50
I just didn't know which one.
Okay. All right, then, you know, my dear hubby has got dinner in the oven right now, so I am going to cut it off.
I already had dinner.
What are you having for supper?
What are we having for dinner?
Yeah.
I think he made shepherd's pie.
Ooh.
Mm.
Hey, Dawn,
Yeah.
I know where you live now, although Darwin will probably
We'll
have it
come
all
up
eaten
there
up.
so we can cook.
Yeah.
I'll pay for gas. And
No,
I'll buy the
I
meat.
made a homemade pizza. I already ate. I had a homemade pizza.
And I'll buy the meat.
You'll buy the meat.
Well,
A 2-hour session, a 2-hour drive up here to,
I'm sorry, if we start out at 8 o'clock, we can be back here by 5. Have lunch with you.
what time do you want this food on the table, Jody?
I want
I
some
can tell you
good
right
grilled
now,
out food.
Darwin ain't gonna wait that long. When the food's done, he's ready to eat.
Well, you're gonna have to tell me where she lives at so I can go and have a cookout with them before it gets cold.
Well, Darwin right now is working on my campaign 22 books, so we can take
Okay.
those and mail those in bulk mail tomorrow. So he's cooking dinner and doing my books.
Cool.
What can I say? I got him.
Well, right now, what can you say? You're just sitting there and you have that boot, so you can't really do too much.
I know he's got his headphones on watching TV, so he can't even hear me talking about him.
Wow.
You should
He's
ask him about me
multitasking.
coming up there to eat a grilled out meal.
So
I'll come any day
anyway,
this week.
well, before I get into trouble, I should have shut off the recording before.
Yeah, I was just looking at that little red light still flashing